You know what I really miss? Villains who are evil. Hi, I'm Lulu and welcome to my channel. Before we start, do me a favor, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Just a heads up, I will talk about certain movies and shows without much regard for what I might spoil, so let's just throw this up and call it fair warning. A common trope these days is the misunderstood villain and also the sympathetic villain. And when I say common, I mean it's gotten to the point of tired eye-rolling cliche. I first found myself duped by this trope when I went to go see Maleficent. The ads made it look awesome, and this was way before the Disney live-action remake thing had gotten so out of control. And what's-her-face, J-Lo, Jolie, whatever, looked incredible in the role, and I was ready to be blown away by a kick-ass villain protagonist story. But I left the theater deflated. Don't get me wrong, I like getting some backstory on why she's the mistress of all evil, but after that it was all cutesy-wootsy, she's not so bad fluff. When you go to see the mistress of all evil, you want to see the mistress of all f***ing evil, not the mistress of she just had a bad day that one time. Same with Cruella de Vil. Why are we trying to make a sympathetic villain out of a woman who makes coats out of puppies? Oh, because her mom was killed by puppies or something, so it's all justified, I guess. And Sauron actually had to deal with some pretty tough things in his past, and also, he's hot. Well, that's one way to trivialize Middle-earth Satan and neuter him of all intimidation and awe. And don't you know that the Sith are actually the good guys because they just want to be themselves and be free to murder people. And also they're hot. To me, this all just sounds like excusing evil. There is this weird idea these days that morality is subjective and there is no such thing as absolute good and evil.
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
Which is literally a quote from Lord Voldemort.
There is no good and evil. There is only power, and those too weak to seek it.
I personally do not take advice on morality from a character who is just a thinly veiled stand-in for the evil German mustache man. Call me old-fashioned, but I'm of the mindset that evil is evil and deserves punishment in equal proportion. Otherwise, there is no justice. An imbalance of those scales is infuriating. Of course, redemption is possible. Prince Zuko is a prime example of how to pull this off, but he does not change without due suffering. The change is earned. It always must be. It can never be easy and quick and seamless without some backsliding. It's messy, it's hard, it's ongoing. Zuko's evil behavior is explained, but it's never excused just because he had a bad childhood. Like, a really bad childhood. It doesn't matter. He still made his choices and he had to make up for them later on. Anakin Skywalker is another great example of the redemption arc done right and the sympathetic villain done right. We know why he does the evil things he does, and we even feel bad for him at times, but he still has to pay for it in the end. I mean, had he not died, the dude would definitely still be going to space jail. Narratively, his self-sacrificial death was absolutely necessary to make things right. He was responsible for countless deaths, and it really doesn't matter how much he missed his mommy. He still had to face justice for what he'd done. Now, just because I tend to roll my eyes at the term morally gray, doesn't mean I'm against being morally challenged. The choices made at the end of Watchmen are brilliant examples of this. Do the heroes cover up the conspiracy to save millions of lives and bring world peace? Or do they bring just punishment on a Machiavellian mass murderer and expose the truth, even though it will lead to global war? It's a tough question, one which is not easily agreed on by the heroes or by the audience. We can see both sides of the argument, but this situation isn't moral ambiguity. It's being stuck between a rock and a hard place, like being forced to pick between cutting off an arm or a leg. And side note, yes, I do realize the villain in Watchmen technically gets away with it, and yet I still love the movie despite my need to see justice served. Without bogging down this video too much with an in-depth analysis of the movie's ending, I'll simply say that 1, the injustice of the situation is kind of the point. You're supposed to be infuriated by it. 2, no one pretends like the villain is a swell guy after all. And 3, no matter the rule, there are always exceptions. Plus, we are thrown some hints that the crime will be exposed in the end, so there's that. But let's move on. When you get right down to it, I don't think my problem is actually with sympathetic villains. It's with badly written sympathetic villains whose evil is waved off and trivialized, trying to get an audience to believe that those villains really aren't so bad and society made them that way. And so it's really not their fault. And who's to say what right and wrong actually is? I have no patience for that kind of nonsense. This is why I am just craving stories with bad, wicked, no good, evil villains. Yes, a sensible and even understandable reason for their evil deeds and plans is always great, but let's not mince words. Evil is evil, no matter the reason behind it. Punish your villains accordingly. Even if they're the kind of villain who can turn things around and join forces with the good guys, they still need to right their wrongs, and that needs to be painful for them. Make them suffer for it. But that's just this writer's opinion. What's your take? Has the misunderstood villain trope gone too far, or are you a fan of it? Who's your favorite villain of all time and why? Drop your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.